Hello, and welcome to the Cup TV, the Currently Unnamed Podcast, where we put the real and the tea in reality. And you can always come here first to quench your thirst. It is me, it is Lana, your resident evil diva, and I'm here to give the tea, spill the tea, and drink the tea because you know I loves me some tea. Her. And yes, I am here by myself, and I really feel like I just wanted some me time today. You know, since you don't really get a lot of me time in this podcast, and so I wanted some me time today. But I know as soon as I go stray away for a little bit, somebody's gonna come like, Lana, Lana, are you here? Can we find you? I'm looking for you. We're all looking for you. Can we just get a little me time? But no, I am here. Everybody else. People are not feeling well today. People are working. People are busy living life. So it is I today, and I'm fine. I love that. I love me speaking with you. Definitely hit me up if you are out there. Let me know in the comments what you are feeling. Let's have a kiki today, cause don't make me talk to myself, but I don't mind. And if you're watching us later on after the replay, leave us comments too. But also get your cup mug too. And you can get your cup mug at lanagcreations.etsy.com. That link will be in the description below. And we do ship internationally and domestically, so there are no excuses. And if you look to the right of the screen, there is a QR code that will take you right to the shop, so you don't even have to do much. Just scan it, go purchase your merch, and we'll get it to you. Thanks. But yes, I am by myself. I wanted some me time, like I said. Who doesn't want a little me time on a busy, busy island where people are just all around? But we are here. We are talking Survivor 50, episode 4. Yeah, episode 4. And it's it was it was it was a very interesting episode, y'all. I love going live right afterwards because it's so fresh in my brain, and I'm just like, wow, what just happened? Cinema is what just happened. It was, it was, it was, it was, it was work. We saw people work. We saw people putting in the work in this episode. And I think that's what I'm going to call it. I said I was going to name every episode. I'm going to name this episode Putting in the Work. Absolutely. Because people put in the work in this episode from beginning to end. And we're gonna talk about it. But before I jump into it, I need y'all to do me a favor. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe to this channel. We are here giving you all things competitive reality television, covering all survivors on all fronts, and House of Fear, Fear Factor, House of Fear, House of Villains. We are covering it all, and we are giving you our highlights for all shows, competitive reality shows, in our highlight week roundup, weekly roundup, reality roundup. So that comes out every Sunday. So if we aren't covering the show on a full recap, we're probably talking about it on reality roundup. So check it out, follow us, hit us up, leave comments, let us know what you think. Subscribe to this channel, subscribe to all of our channels. All the links will be in the description below, as well as our audio podcast links, our Patreon, and all of our socials. Follow us on all socials. That will be great. Let's get into it. So we come back with the Batu tribe, and they come back, and Ozzy's talking about they're, it's Q's gone. Stephanie's feeling a little blindsided by that. Didn't see that coming, but Emily is great. That Ozzy, they like, look, it had to happen, and they want to smooth things over with. Well, Ozzy wants to smooth things over with Stephanie because he really wants to work with Stephanie, but he knew was a collateral damage that had to happen. But he also wants to work with Mike. He wants Mike as his number one. So he's very gung ho about the idea of getting Angelina out next because he feels like Angelina is standing in the way of him and Mike. So Angelina needs to go, and according to him, and that was the deal that he made with Emily. Like, we'll get rid of Q tonight. We'll do Angelina next. That was the plan. So he was very much stuck on that plan. He was like, "That's what I want. because I want to be Mike White's number one. Um, so he was on that plane. He told Stephanie, he was like, "Listen, we're not coming for you. It's not anything against you. We do want to work with you." She feels, better, but still a little, hmm, because Q was her number one. So she's kind of like, I don't know, but they're doing their best to smooth things out. And then, we move. So we got to go to Sela for a second because Sela is now giving us a talent show. Hmm. Downtime. Why not do a talent show? The ladies are the judges, and so the guys are going to be performing. And so Rick Devens decides that he's going to do a juggling act, and he juggles a couple times. Sure, sure, he juggles a couple times. It's done after that. um, Sure. But then Rizzo does his impersonations. He's going to do impersonations, and he does Mickey Mouse, the Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. You know, oh boy, I don't. I'm not going to try it. No, but he does that. It was a pretty decent Mickey Mouse. Not gonna lie, it was decent Mickey Mouse. And then Jonathan and Charlie do their impression. Well, they wrestle. Jonathan lifts Charlie up, and he's having a break up, back breaker, and he slams them, and they're fighting and wrestles. Yeah, cool. So the ladies name Rizzo as the winner, saying his impersonation was good, and Charlie's a little bitter about Rizzo winning, but not more so about Rizzo winning because Charlie does not like to lose. He does not like to lose. So, but he's mad about Rizzo winning this talent show. But that's just the underlying thing that he's still mad about Rizzo voting in a season that Charlie was not on, but for Rizzo for voting for Savannah because Rizzo told him that Sophie was his number one in his season, but he voted for Savannah. And that got under Charlie's skin because he feels like Rizzo pulled a Maria. Charlie, sweetheart, baby, darling, love, hun. I'm about to take something. Shout out to Nene on TikTok, but I'm about to hold. I'm gonna hold your hand with a napkin in between when I say this to you. But you need to let it go. It's becoming weird now. This obsession is becoming weird now. It's what? You're mad at Rizzo for casting a vote on a season for someone else that you weren't even a part of because it gives you PTSD about what happened to you. But Rizzo's vote wouldn't have even mattered. Even if he voted for Sophie, Sophie still would have lost to Savannah. But you don't know this because you ain't watched the season yet. You don't actually know that Savannah was Rizzo's number one the entire time. So he really didn't pull a Maria. He voted for the person who he was number one with, and Sophie came in as number two. Now Sophie is his bestie outside of the game, but he couldn't tell her that because we talked about this last week. I'm not going to go through it again. But I'm just saying, Charlie, baby, you are starting to get weird. And this obsession will continue even in the next episode from the previews that we saw. Oh my God. Oh my God. I'm jumping to the previews. I know. But Charlie, get a life. Like 100%. Get a whole full life because you, sir, are ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous in this moment. Like, let it go. But okay, we'll talk about that later. We'll deal with that. But he's still mad. He's still bitter with Rizzo for a vote that he wasn't a part of. But okay. All right. Okay, we move. Anyway, let's move over to Callow Beach because we see Aubrey is out looking for idols. She's idol hunting. Yes. She 100% is idol hunting. But she's also just trying to get away. Everybody's sitting around camp. She doesn't want to sit around camp, but everybody's sitting there. But she wants to move. She's trying to get some peace and quiet, some time to herself while she idle hunts. And she's like, I have not been gone from camp for about 5 minutes or so before Genevieve is yelling, Aubrey, Aubrey, where are you? We're all looking for you. Aubrey. And Aubrey's like, oh my God. She got out the old folks home long enough to come find me, to look for me. Like, oh my God, leave me alone. Aubrey has had it up to here with Genevieve, up to here, because she already knows Genevieve is coming for her. She knows, she heard it, she knows, and she's like, I don't want to work with this person. I'm not going to work with this person. I don't like her. She's mugging me. Like, ugh. So, of course, she comes finds Aubrey, and she's like, oh my gosh, um, we were just looking for you, making sure you were okay. She's like, yeah, I'm fine. Showing some out myself. You don't get a lot of, you know, personal privacy time on this island. So I just really wanted to just, be by myself. And she's like, yeah, okay, I get that. I get that. So Aubrey walks away. And then Genevieve starts looking. And she's looking and she's looking. And Genevieve finds her second Billie Eilish idol. Genevieve, you go. I will say you go. Like you go Glen Coco. Like if these were regular idols and you would just find them like that all the time, period. But of course she knows exactly what it is. She knows what she has to do. And so she decides that she is going to send this idol to Rizzo. She sent her first one to Ozzy. Now she's sending this one to Rizzo because she feels like Rizzo is the type of person who's going to go home with an idol in his pocket and he can be manipulated into that. So that's what her choices were. Um, it's going. We go to the immunity challenge, and yes, very early into this episode, we are going into the immunity slash reward challenge because of the reward of this challenge. Um, the reward of this challenge is, as they say, the biggest reward on Survivor history. Zach Brown is going to be there. He is going to he's a fan of Survivor, avid fan of Survivor. So he wants to be there and be a part of this. So he made his own reward, like curated curated his own reward, which I was like, interesting. And when I heard, I'm like, oh, okay, so he's going to, he tell them he wants done. He wants they're gonna fish, gonna have this whole big meal, and so I'm like, oh, they're gonna cook and have meals for. No, Zach Brown is actually not only is he an avid Survivor fan, but he's an avid spearfishing fan, and so he is going to go spearfishing for the winning tribe, and he's going to go spearfish and grab some fish and then bring it back, cut it, clean it, do all the things, and cook it. Now, that's what they say. He's going to cut it, clean it, and cook it and do all things. We saw him cooking, but we'll get to that. Um, I'm not going to doubt that the man didn't do that, but he's going to, do all of that, and he's going to cook it up for them. And then after they eat, they're going to have a little jam session with Zach, and he's going to perform for him. So this was a huge prize. So and it was nice because Zach Brown was actually there for to tell him about it and tell him about why he wanted to do this. And him being a fan, he said he watched every season of Survivor, and now he watches with his kids, and they watch it, and he knows everybody. He's like, I'm fanning out right now, seeing all of you because I watch. Feel like I know all of you, and in return, they're like flipping out. D is losing it because she is a huge Zach Brown fan. She's like, his music has changed her life. She listens to his music all the time. Her brother loves him. Like, she's a huge fan. Everybody's happy. Even the people who don't really know who Zach Brown is, because you can see on some people like, I ain't never heard of Zach Brown. Like, they don't know who he is. But it's nice to have somebody who's a fan of the show there to, you know, be there and be a part of all of this. And so he was like, and wanted to do something like perform and cook for him. So that was lovely. Everybody was excited, but they had to win the challenge. Only one tribe was going to win the reward, but two tribes were going to be immune from tribal. So the first team to win gets the reward, and the second one just gets immunity. Um, so the challenge was you had to um, did you swim out? Did they swim out? Yeah, I think they swim out. Oh, no, they started on the planks out there, and then they had to go and get swim to this uh, narrow base. Then they had to everybody had to get on this plank, this narrow plank base or whatever, and they had to release two buckets off of the rafters at the top. So two people had to get the buckets down, untie knots to get all the buckets down. Once they get the buckets down, then they had to swim to the boat where the boat was capsized. Well, the boat had a bunch of sandbags in it, and so it was it is sunk, it is the bottom. So everybody had to get the sandbags out, and then once you got the sandbags out, you had to scoop the water out of the boats to try to have the boat come back up to the top and get it out the water. Um, and once you got it out the water, then you were able to get you had to slide it up to this base, the point, and then you had to put all your puzzle pieces inside of it. Once you got all the puzzle pieces inside, then you had to push it through on this track through the net. And once you get with sandbags was in the way. So once you got it all the way through there and through the sandbags, through the net and all of that, then once you got it to that end, you had to make a arch puzzle that spelled out the word celebration on it. And then once you get the arch puzzle to hold and you're from under it in the mat, you win. Period. Um, Two people set out, Chrissy and Sari, and we went. This one was interesting because um, the Sela tribe was out in front for a good portion of it, of course, with Jonathan being on there and him beasting through, and everybody else was what they were doing what they did. Everybody did their part. Callow tribe was right behind them, literally right behind them the entire time. Um, with Kobe and Coach doing a lot of lifting and working, and it was a lot. But this was and Joe they were doing a lot of the heavy lifting, and it was a very strenuous challenge. I will say a lot of brute force and strength went behind pushing that boat and trying to get all the things, and then holding up those like moving sandbags and holding up those puzzle pieces, and like Jeff was like, if these puzzles are heavy, blocks are heavy. If it fall on your toe, it could do some damage, or it could hurt if it hits you. And it was just a lot of that going on. So it was a very physically tasking challenge. And so seeing them go and work like that, it was a lot. It was definitely a lot. And I personally, I was like, you work because I would have been. I'll sit out. I'll happily sit out for that because no, absolutely not killing myself. Um, it was just it was a lot. It was a lot. It was a lot of work. But one thing is for certain, two things for sure. Well, Vatu, Vatu, Vatu didn't stand a chance in this challenge. Vatu, even with Ozzy doing as much as he can, Vatu got to that net with the boat in the net, and that's where they stayed. Like they didn't have a chance. It didn't. It wasn't. It wasn't even it's, the least bit close for them. Like it was so bad. They got annihilated. Batu was out of it from. They just didn't have it. Ozzy couldn't do it by himself, and Mike and Christian's trying, but and then you have Angelina and Emily. Like this is not the physically strong team. Like if you would have given them a bunch of puzzles to do, they probably would have ate them up. But this was hard. This was hard. but it really came down to Kylo and Sela, and it was very close, very very close. But Kylo ends up winning first, so they get the reward, and Sela also gets immunity. So Batu is on their way back to Tribal Council yet again. uh, what can you say at this point? Like, mm, it just, it just wasn't it. Literally, it just wasn't it. It wasn't it for them, and they just lost it. They simply lost it. Unfortunately, that's just how it was. Um, and they were exhausted. Everybody was exhausted. Like every team was like spent. It took a lot of energy from them. But we go to the sanctuary because that is where the reward is going to take place. And when they get to the sanctuary, it's a note saying, with some snacks and some little, drinks and hors d'oeuvres, if you will, to sit back, relax. Zach will be back in a while, and a little bit with lunch and everything. So Kylo is luxuriating in the sanctuary. They're very excited. They're happy. And then we have our moment where we get to see Zach actually going spearfishing. Um, I say, you know, it was very beautiful to watch. It was very beautiful to watch him in that water, and that blue water was so pretty. Not sure if I'm a fan of spearfishing and seeing, how that up close and personal. I mean, you know, I know fish have to, you know, their food source or whatever, but not that I don't really need to see it. I'm that kind of person. Like I know animals, we eat the animals. Some of us, and if we're not vegetarian or vegan, I know we eat them. I just don't have to see them get killed, But it was nice. That's his passion, as he want to do. So he went spearfishing, and seeing him amongst the fish and the sharks and no, it was interesting. I was like, okay, but he got these two huge tuna, and these fish were like huge. These fish were huge, and so he brings them back, and everybody's excited. We see him grilling the fish up, and it was nice. Now they're saying he made all this food, and I'm like, did he though? I don't know. I don't know if Zach actually made it, but if he did, period, because it looked good. I will say, I'm not a huge seafood person. I like some seafood, but I'm not a huge seafood person. But that fish, looked delicious. That mango salsa that he made looked delicious. Um, so I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if he made it all. If he did, good on you. Great. If he didn't, that's fine too. Because Zach Brown, he don't have to do that if he don't want to. If he do, great. But he made all this food for him, and they ate the food. Talked about how delicious it was, how some of the best food they ever had. It was so good. And I'm like, yeah, if you have not eaten in so many days, I'm sure it tastes like the best food you have ever eaten in your entire life. I'm absolutely sure of that. Um, and then he gave him a little concert, and performed a song that was new. His new song is probably out now, but like it was new to them when they filmed this. Um, and they just had a good time. We had people just like, oh, this is so amazing. This is so great. This is so cool. Love that for them. Absolutely love that for them. They had a great time. Whatever. But then we flip over to Sela's Beach, and Dee is not happy. Dee is very sad. She's very super emotional about not winning. She's like, uh, I mean, yeah, we won immunity, but like, did we really win? Like, we won immunity. We're saved. Great. But we missed the prize. And I like second is not winning, and winning is second. Blah, blah, blah. Like she was not happy. She was not happy about it at all, and I get it. I understand. If my favorite artist came out there and I was this close to seeing them and we lose by mere seconds, I would be pissed too. I would be a little annoyed too. So I get it. I get it, girl. I understand completely. I get it. But she's a little sad. But we also see the reaction of Rizzo getting his new idol from Genevieve. And he's like, ooh, I don't know how I do it, but I did it again. I got another idol. And he's like, y'all know what happened last time I got an idol? I made a lot of noise with him. We'll see what kind of noise I can make with this one. Rizzo, please, please, Rizzo, I'm gonna need you. I know this has already been filmed. I know it's over, but I need Rizzo to calm down about the idol. We don't need a repeat of last season with this idol. I don't honestly I don't think he could play it. Like I don't think he could play with these survivor players like he played with 49. I don't think he can do it because honestly, I feel like the survivor players that are here in this season will call him on his bluff. The first time he pulled that nonsense, I'm gonna play it, and then I think they'll call him on his bluff. Like, let's see if you do it. If you do, we just go to a revote. It's fine. Like, I don't think he can play it the same way he played it before. So I, and honestly, I don't need to see that again. I don't need to see week after week of week after week of Rizzo taunting and maybe I'll play it. Possibly, never mind. I'm not like absolutely not. Absolutely not. We don't need to see it. We don't need to see it. Let's get to Vatu Beach because now they have the scramble. The scramble is on, and Ozzy is. They're telling Mike Ozzy is still on his plan. Angelina, and he's like he tells Mike it's Angelina because you know it's Angelina at this point, and Mike is like, I don't know if I like that. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know if I like it. I don't know if that is what I would do. And since that's not what I would do, let's fix that. No, we're gonna fix it. Let's do it. And Mike goes on his Save Angelina tour. Like he is not thrilled about the Angelina vote. He doesn't want it. Emily is telling him, telling people it's Angelina's the vote. Ozzy's like, yep, that's what it is. They tell Stephanie. Stephanie's like, okay, cool, Angelina it is. And then Mike is like, no, 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 I don't want to do that. What about Emily? Because she's sneaky. Emily is sneaky. Like she's smart. She's good. And if we leave her here, she's gonna she's gonna we need to do that. We need to get rid of Emily. So Angelina's like, okay, because it's gonna save her, then yes, we'll do that. We'll do that. So Mike goes and tells Stephanie, like, hey, we could vote out Emily. We should vote out Emily. She's smart. She is like super, super smart. She can really win. She could probably win this game. She's playing one way, but we all know she's not that coy. She's not that innocent. So he's like, we could do that. We should do that. And so Stephanie's like, okay, okay. If Emily is the vote, then so be it. Like, okay, all right. Um, she's fine with that. She's fine with it being um Emily. Christian is not that keen on it being Emily. Christian is like, ooh, I've been working with Emily since day one, and I don't really want to do that. I don't really want to do that. And Mike senses Christian's hesitancy. He senses it. He's like, oh, you, yeah, you don't. particularly want to do this. So Mike is like, I have to do whatever I have to do to make sure to convince Christian to do this with me. And so Mike is like, Christian, I feel I feel like this could be deja vu for you. I feel Emily is your Gabby. And Mike was like, what? And Christian was like, what? He's like, yeah. Mike is like, yeah, I feel like Emily is your Gabby. I feel like she is, you know, could be the one to who you want to play this game with so much, and then she like stabs you in the back and betray you and blah blah blah. I think Emily could be your Gabby. And Christian is like, oh, he's like, okay, thanks, Mike. Like, thanks. You really opened my eyes. You showed me something. Yeah. So he gets up and he walks away, and we get a confessional of Christian talking, and he's like, I Mike just showed me that Emily could be my Gabby, and I never thought about it. Like I haven't thought about this in years. And he got a little emotional, choked up. Was like, I haven't cried about this ever. And like, is Emily like? Would she play me like Gabby? And that it's like, ooh, it's like a knife in the chest when he said it. He said, and it felt like Mike's got to go because if he's going to use that to comfort me because he knows that's my a soft spot for me. That's dangerous. That's dangerous, and Mike's got it. Yeah, and I was like, oh, say word, Christian, huh? Oh, okay, all right. Hmm. So now Christian is on his way of now I have to get Mike. Now I have to get Mike. It it is what it is. Like that's dangerous. So he goes and pulls Emily. He's like, no, he goes and pulls Stephanie first. He's like, hey, I got a way to get out Mike. If I vote for Mike, and if you vote for Mike, and we get Emily Flippin to vote for Mike, because they're voting for Mike and Angelina are voting for Emily. If three of us vote for Mike and Ozzy, who's he voting for? Angelina. That's how we can get Mike out. And Ozzy's like, oh, and so except like when I tell Ozzy's like, no, we don't need to tell Ozzy. We don't because I feel like Ozzy wants to be Mike's number one. Ozzy wants Ozzy wants to be Mike's number one. And I was like, oop, nail on the head. Like he definitely does. Um, and Christian was like, we can't tell Ozzy because Ozzy in his confessional, he was like, we can't tell Ozzy because Ozzy wants Mike to be his number one, and he wants to get a spot on White Lotus. So I was like, ooh, not a spot on White Lotus. Ozzy wants that spot. Um, so he's like, so we can't tell Ozzy. So then he goes and tells Emily the same plan. And Emily's like, oh no, I gotta tell Ozzy. We got why can't we tell Ozzy? She said, because Ozzy's skittish. Ozzy wants to work with Mike, so we can't. Now, Emily's now she's feeling conflicted because she's like, just last night, I voted with Ozzy, giving him, I put trust in him that if he work with me, I will work with him. And now the plan is changing, but he's coming for me. He's like, Mike is coming for you. We cannot tell Ozzy. And she's like, oh, I gotta tell Ozzy. I don't know. I feel like I need to. And she's feeling very conflicted about not telling Ozzy. So they get back to camp, and it's Christian, Stephanie, and Emily sitting there, and Ozzy walks up because Ozzy has gone spearfishing. Of course, he's like, if Zach Brown can go get some fish, so can I. So he's going out to go spearfishing, and when he comes back to camp, he walks up. He's like, "Hey, what's up, everybody?" Emily says, "Mike White is after me. Mike White is coming for me." And Christian is like, "Gosh, I told you." Like, "Girl, what? Emily, 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 shut up, shut up." He ain't said it, but in his head, he was screaming. He was screaming, like, "Oh my God, Emily, what are you doing? Hush, shush, stop talking." Like, it was so, oh my God. And Ozzy was like, I mean, but the vote is to Angelina though, so very dismissive of the fact that Emily just said Mike was making her the target. He's like, but the vote is Emily. I mean, but the vote is Angelina. Not even though Mike, if we vote Angelina, Mike will still be there to come again for me the next day. Hello, Ozzy. If I was Emily, I'd be like, "Child, did you hear what I said? Did you hear me when I said Mike White is coming for me? I'm his target. We take out Angelina, his number one. Who do you think he'll come for? The person he's already coming. Oh, please, please. But he comes like Angelina. And Christian is literally standing behind Ozzy, like, "Mm, mm, shut up, Emily." It was funny. It was actually made me laugh. I was laughing. I was like, "Girl, this man said we can't tell Ozzy. The first thing you do is tell Ozzy. How do you expect Christian to now trust you?" Oh, because now he's questioning. Maybe I should get rid of Emily because she is like a loose cannon. She just says every time I say this, do one thing, she does the complete opposite. Do you not trust me, girl? Do you not trust me, gal? Do you not trust me? Like, I know Christian's like, I'm trying to help you, and you're spitting in my face every single time. Like, oh, how? How? It's literally maddening. It's literally maddening to see that happen. So now Christian is like, maybe I should just vote out Emily. Maybe that's the smart move. Maybe that's for me to do. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But we go to tribal council because, and we know the names that's out there. There is Angelina from Ozzy, and he wants that to happen. Mike wants Emily, and Christian wanted Mike. But does he still want Mike? Or does he want Emily now? We'll find out at tribal council. And so we get in tribal council, and everyone is just see, me and tribal council. I just feel like it's the same things. It's like, what do you think is going to happen? How do you feel about this vote? What do you think is going to be the results of this vote? Is it going to be, because obviously you're not winning the challenges or you wouldn't be here. Is it, are you trying to do team strength or bonds, or who do you want to work with? What is the vibe for this vote? And everybody was talking and was giving their, very PC answers, in my opinion. It was very like, you have to vote for who you think you want to work with in this game, and who you're trying to who you're trying to be play with, and who do you think is going to be worth playing with. um it was just an interesting vibe. But throughout the entire thing, I think it was when Christian was talking, you saw Emily get this look on her face, like something he said, kind of like, hmm, huh. And I think it was when he was talking about trust and how people who you feel like you can, have good relationships with, not just past relationships, but present relationships and all of that things. And she was just like, I don't know. And she was like, I kind of get this sinking feeling like, ugh. And so they're like, what are you feeling like? She was like, I don't know. I just feel like you put so much energy and time and trust in people, you don't know if you're getting that, reciprocating that back. And she's, I don't know. I just feel like the vibes are just off tonight, which makes me feel like it could be me. Like she literally was shrinking in this moment because she felt like the vibes were off and like it could have been her who was going to get her torch snuffed tonight. And so she was like, I don't know. I feel like this sinking feeling, it might be on me tonight. And I don't, of course, she didn't want that, but she just felt that that could be a thing. And I think she was right to have that vibe because it her name was out there and she knows it. She knew it. She just didn't know where the votes were going to go. If everything that people were telling her was the truth, or if she's been just been lied to her face. Like, which way is it? Um, so she is nervous, but it's time to vote. And first vote, Angelina. That's Ozzy's vote. These fault tribes are so small, we know exactly who these votes came from. Second vote, Emily. Mike's vote. Third vote, Mike. Emily's vote. Fourth vote, Emily. Angelina's vote. Fifth vote, Mike. Stephanie's vote. Last vote, fifth person voted out of Survivor 50, Mike. Let me pull this up. Ugh, pains me. Pains me to do that. Ugh, Mike. Like, wait, what? Mike White out fifth. Not what I thought would happen, but I'm not sure you know, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. Like I don't know. I'm not really sad, but I'm not happy. I'm kind of like I'm shocked it flipped so quickly. I'm shocked it went that way. I love that Christian was able to understand what Mike was doing. And it was during that, I think it was when Mike was discussing his career and how he has to con people into believing a story that is not maybe not real and to believing it and enjoying it. That's what his career is as a writer and a producer and a for television. You have to make people believe that these stories are interesting and or get people interested in your story that you want to tell or portray. And so I think it was in that moment for Christian, his decision was made because I think he was going back and forth between Emily and Mike because Mike was really good at convincing Christian that maybe, he is doing a deja vu. But I think that just didn't sit well with Christian's spirit. And then hearing him talking about being a con man and, basically conning people into enjoying his stories, it kind of sealed the deal for him. Um, And I get it. I understand it. I feel like the things that people say, you have to listen to it and really hear them when they speak and say. And not that Mike is a bad person. Mike is a great guy. He's a great guy. Great. He's like a cool dude. I just feel like hearing somebody use the word as con and tricking and like, and you brought that from your career into this game and manipulating people and all of that stuff. Like he's very good at it. It's his career. He's good at it. So to hear somebody say that and bring it into the game, it's like okay, yeah, yeah, no. You gotta go. You gotta go. So Mike was blindsided, and It's out the game. Oof. I know a lot of people gonna be upset. Ozzy is one of those people. He's very upset. Like Christian told him, we'll explain to you later. He was like, it's too late. You don't want to hear it. Ozzy's pissed. And from what we saw in the previews, he's going to be pissed. So I don't know how that's going to play out. But yeah, he's pissed. But real quick, real quick, I'm going to do a draft update. Team Eduardo took another hit. Unfortunately. Leaving my Eduardo with 2 people gone. Team Jack lost 1. Team Lewis and Team Logan has lost 1. Leaving still this middle section here. Team Brooke and Team Lana are eating right now. But neither one of us are very comfortable or cocky because that's not how you play Survivor, and that is definitely not how you play Survivor Draft. You can't get too comfortable here. So, but Team Brooke and Team Lana are still no hits yet. But that could swiftly change in an instant. But yeah, that is that. That's all I got. It's me by myself, so I'm not gonna prolong this, y'all. We just gonna do what we do. But I do appreciate you all for coming and joining and sticking around. And if you're watching the recap later, thank you for watching. We truly appreciate you. Please subscribe to this channel if you have not done so already. We are trying to get 1,000 new subscribers by the end of the year. We are halfway there. We would love to get there this year. A lot of fun things open up for us and for you if we get there. So please subscribe to this channel. We truly, truly appreciate your time and you watching and your views. Leave a comment below. Let us know what you think. Who are you rooting for? How you feeling about this Mike exit? Let me know. Let us know in the comments below. Follow us so you can never miss a single video we do. Subscribe to this channel and all of our channels. Follow our Patreon. Join our Patreon. Follow us on our audio podcast links. Follow us on all of our socials at The Cup Pod on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Blue Sky. And just continue watching. Don't forget to get your cup mug. And we're going to get out of here because I got nothing left to say. You continue to watch. I'm going to go. Have the best day.